least one more game, perhaps two more games. I wonder how you feel about that and how your body would feel about that at this point.
I mean, if that's what it takes, we come in at the beginning of the season with one central goal, and that's to win a national championship. So that's what it takes to get here to win it. Then I'm all for it.
Great, thank you.
And our next question is from Jeff Schultz. Go ahead, Jeff.
Nakobe, people have been trying to break down the difference in you guys in the last two games. And, there seems to be this narrative. There is a narrative that you guys were just in a different place mentally against Michigan than maybe against Alabama. How much of that do you think that is true? And how much, because physically it would seem like you guys are sort of the same teams or at equal levels at least. How much is the mental approach going to make a difference this game?
The mental approach makes a big difference. Just from the whole thing of it being a national championship. I mean, it's a national championship. You should be prepared mentally. You should be prepared to give it your best on the field. You should expect your opponent to also be prepared to give it their best on the field. So the mental and physical preparation for it, I feel like should be second to none.
And our next question will go to Heather Dinich. Go ahead, Heather, with your question.
So for the first 12 games of the season, you guys were phenomenal defensively, statistically, and then obviously it came unraveled against Alabama. How much do you guys have to prove to cement your place in history as one of the best defensive teams at Georgia against Alabama in the second shot against them?
As far as proving, I don't feel like we going in with that mindset that we got to prove anything. We just going in with the same mindset that we always go in, and that's to be elite, and have complete dominance. And it's one main goal for this last game, and that's to win. So no matter how it happens, how ugly, how pretty it is, it's just one main goal is just to win this game.
And our next question is from Mark Weiser. Mark, go ahead with your question.
Hey, Nakobe. Jamari was on here earlier saying that you guys can't run away from the truth about the history of success Alabama's had against Georgia. You didn't have any history with Michigan. You do with Alabama. Is that in the back of your mind, for this game? Is it motivation?
I mean, a motivation factor, of course. As many times I've played them, that's as far back as I'm thinking, though. Just as many times I played them. I can't speak too much on the past. I don't like to dwell on the past at all. Just a present me being here. I didn't play them back then, back in the day. So right now I'm just focusing on winning this game. That's the only thing that's on my mind and on my teammates' mind also.
And our next question will be from Chip Towers. Go ahead, Chip.
Yeah, kind of on that note, Nakobe, you talk about how many times you guys have played Alabama. I mean, this is third really significant game against these guys in the last 2 years. Would you call Alabama like, Georgia's biggest rival? Is it like the biggest rival for you?
I mean, it's a rivalry, of course, because, everybody hypes it up. Our coach, once coaching underneath the other coach. So, yeah, everybody hypes it up. Of course, it's a big rivalry, and it's an SEC game. But as far as this game, it's a national championship. It's a national championship that I feel like everybody should be prepared to play at their best level, at their highest clip. And like I said before, the only thing that we focus on is winning. No matter how we get it done, we just got to get it done.
And our next question is from Palmer Toms. Go ahead, Palmer.
This is Connor.
Oh, you cut out.
Yeah, sorry about that. Why do you think the first time you guys played, Bryce Young had so much success against your defense?
They did a lot of things good. They was able to execute in places that we weren't. He was able to extend plays. We had 0 sacks that game, which was very uncharacteristic of us. So they was able to execute at a high level than we were that day.
And our next question is from Georgia Chambers. Go ahead, Georgia.
Hey, Nakobe. When Coach Smart refused the Gatorade bath, what tone did this set for the team in practice and preparation going into this week, this rematch against Alabama?
I feel like Coach Smart's mindset is kind of reciprocated in a lot of the older guys as far as, we won the game last week, but, it means nothing. We don't get the job done. That's exactly how I feel also. It was cool that we was able to win the Orange Bowl, but, it was a step closer to playing in this big one. Last week and the week before that, we just emphasized it being, one game season against Michigan. One game season because you lose, you go home. You win, you get more time together. And now, it's what it is. It's one game season, and we all looking to win. Basically, accomplish our goals that we set back in January. So.
And our next question will come from Justin Felder. Go ahead, Justin, with your question.
What's up, Nakobe? Looking back at your recruiting class and guys like Nolan and Trayvon, what do you remember about the first time you talked to those guys about how good your group can be? I mean, was it at a camp or an All-Star game or just over DMs or whatever? What do you remember about that conversation and had it talking with those guys those days?
Well, I didn't. As far as recruiting, I didn't. I wasn't real involved pre-college. With other recruits. Just kind of like I knew guys. I didn't really speak to them much. But after we got on campus, actually the guys you said, Nolan, Trayvon, and Chesney, was all roommates. So I do remember having them talks in the living room, talking about, man, how good we can be. We just got to keep working to get better every day. Coming in, knowing that it's hard, coming in and all getting back to the room at the same time and just being, tired as all get out. But just knowing we got to stay the course, continue to work and get better.
And our next question will come from Anthony Dasher. Go ahead, Anthony, with your question.
Yeah, Nakobe, what lesson did you take away from the first meeting with Alabama that would be most applicable to the game on Monday night?
Everything, basically. We looking at every little thing from the scheme that we use, the scheme that they use, to how we can possibly take advantage of some things that we did, how we can play better, finish better, and from the back end to the front seven. So we looked at every little thing of how we can get better, not just from that game, but from the games throughout the season where we feel like they might attack us in, and basically what other teams have had success in going throughout the season. So we looked at every little thing. We trying to leave every stone turned. So.
And our next question is from Kevin Brockway. Go ahead, Kevin, with your question.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had a Kirby Smart story, what he's like as a motivator, and how he's kind of mentored you all these years as a coach.
He can get you going. If you ask me, a lot of guys at this point, a lot of guys, if you just kind of seen them, you wasn't around them all the time in practice, you'll think that when he's coaching and he get all riled up, you'll think he's kind of like he kind of tripping a little bit. But he coming from I feel like every time, I don't feel like he's bad at all. I feel like he coming from a great place. He wants you to be great, and he want to be great, and the only thing he care about is winning. And I feel like that's the same for me. If we can, I don't think he care about is winning this game. So whatever we got to do to win this game, coach, I'm gonna do it for you. And that's kind of been the mindset. Just trusting the coach, just trusting the game plan, and just going out there and playing like we know how we can play, and just be elite.
And our next question is from Mike Griffith. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Nakobe, for all the film study that you guys have done, how much is there to be said for actually playing against Bryce Young in terms of his quickness, agility? Is it kind of a deal where now once you've seen it, you have a better idea of how quick and elusive he is? And is he the most elusive guy in the pocket you faced, would you say, at quarterback?
I mean, yeah, we can face some pretty elusive guys. I feel like he's one of the best ones as far as sitting in that pocket and staying calm. I feel like he does that, better than anybody. His ability to just sit there and be calm and being able to extend plays and make plays. His ability to do that. Also just makes it look just tougher for the front seven to get their rush. So we kind of been working on that and basically trying to make it a different outcome than last time where we had no sacks. Very uncharacteristic for us.
And our next question will be from Alan Cole. Alan, go ahead with your question.
Hey, Nakobe, you mentioned preparation earlier in this, and I was wondering, how is preparing for a team you've already seen this year different than maybe a normal week of game prep, like in the regular season for a team you know you're only going to see once? Is there anything different that goes into a rematch?
It's not too much different. Just we able to watch the game that we played before. We able to see like what their game plan was against us and what our game plan was against us and how they may adjust and how we can adjust. So that's probably the only biggest thing. The work is there. That's the only thing we've been focusing on, working, getting better. From a mental, physical, and spiritual standpoint, I feel like this team have done nothing but work hard to get better, day in and day out, and I feel like they'll be reciprocated on the field.
We've got time for two more questions for Nakobe. Our next question will be from Zach Klein. Go ahead, Zach, with your question.
Hey, Nakobe, with the senior class, what's the DNA of them? What do they mean to you? And knowing that if they win this game, not only do they walk out as champions, but as the most decorated senior class in the history of Georgia football in terms of victories.
Yeah, they mean a lot to me. Those guys, the hard work they put in, the everything from the leadership ability. They've been here as long as I've been here, longer, of course. But they just exemplify Georgia football and everything it stands on. So to be able to finish this one out with this group of guys, I wouldn't want it to be with any other group. So I love them boys, and that's who we'll be playing for. Well, we'll be playing for our brothers alongside everybody. So, but the seniors definitely.